Hello everyone, my name is Dee and welcome to Books and Quirks. It has been a minute since my last video. I took an unexpected, unplanned break from YouTube. I haven't filmed since right before Thanksgiving, I think it was. So I don't have any excuse except for that it was really busy. I was also sick for a time with a cold and a cough that would not quit. And things have just been crazy. So it was a good little break. But now I'm back and I plan on filming, regular going forward, hopefully. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all staying warm in the winter. It's been a pretty mild winter here in New Jersey, so hasn't been too cold yet. So I hope it's the same where you are. So yeah, I've done quite a bit of reading since we last spoke. It's been throughout December. I read mostly, holiday books, a lot of romance, things like that. But now that it's January, or January is almost over. By the time I get this up, it may be February 1st already. But now that it's January, the end of January, I've started reading more diverse books. So let me just quickly tell you what I've been reading the last couple of weeks, because it would take forever if I went through everything I read since like the beginning of December. So the first book that I just finished, and I actually just finished it last night, is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. This is a psychological thriller. It's kind of like along the lines of Gone Girl and, Gillian Flynn type novels, things like that. I liked it. So I gave this book 4 stars. I think I still have to update Goodreads, but I'm going to rate it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think that a lot of people, though, would guess the twist at the end. I guessed part of the twist. I didn't guess the whole thing. I mean, I won't give any spoilers, don't worry. But I think a lot of people would. I've heard a lot of people already read it did guess the twist. So, but I mean, I still enjoyed it even though I did guess part of it. The only negative thing I have to say about it is it was a bit long. It dragged so much in the middle of the book, and that was the only reason why I didn't give it, a higher rating, or a 5-star rating rather. I still really enjoyed it. I loved the beginning of the book. I love the end of the book. So this follows a woman who is an agoraphobic. She is stuck in her apartment. She's separated from her husband and her daughter. She can't leave her apartment, and she witnesses something. She basically spies on her neighbors through her windows. She lives in New York City and she spies on other people. That's how she lives vicariously through other people. And she witnesses something, what seems to be a murder across the street from a neighbor that she knows. And things just go from there. Throughout the book, you don't know what's true, what isn't true. Is she imagining things? You do know from the first couple of pages of the book that she is an agoraphobic. She's on a lot of psychotropic medications. She also mixes this with alcohol quite a bit. So you don't really know. She's very much an unreliable narrator, and you don't know until the end. But like I said, you may guess I'm just a person that doesn't usually guess what other people do. So I really enjoyed it, and that was A Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. The other books that I read in the month of January were a couple of kind of age gap romance novels. One was When August Ends by Penelope Ward, and this follows a young woman. She's 21, I think, and she kind of manages a summer rental home on the property. Her mother suffers from, depression and is basically unable to, she takes care of her mother basically. a man moves into the summer rental. It's an older man. I think he's 35, and the romance starts from there. It starts off kind of in an awkward way, and then it doesn't start off under the best of circumstances. When they first meet, it's not the best first impression. I thought it was kind of cute. I really actually enjoyed this novel. It was one of my favorite romances that I've read in quite a while. And the other romance that I read was A Sense of Belonging by Laura Branchflower. So this follows another main character who is 20, I believe, and she falls for an older attorney. They form a friendship at first, so it's kind of friends to lovers type romance, and although he doesn't realize, it's kind of an online friendship, he doesn't realize who she is until she unwittingly comes in for an interview, doesn't know that he's the person, because they both talk under assumed names. I thought it was really cute as well, and I really enjoyed these two romances. So the next book that I plan to read, and I'll actually be doing this as part of a buddy reading starting Sunday, and I'll be reading with my usual crew, Mel of Mel's Bookland Adventures, Candace of Beacon Hill Books, Sean, possibly, of On the Stoop, and Cheryl of CR Flames Fan. So we will be reading the third installment in the James Islington trilogy, the Lycanus series, I think it's called. Yeah, the Lycanus trilogy. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this is a trilogy. The first is An Echo of Things to Come, I think it's called. Anyway, this third installment is The Light of All That Falls. This is very much a high fantasy. It's action-packed. I absolutely love it. So the first book in the series, I actually had to get it off my shelf, and that is The Shadow of What Was Lost. So An Echo of Things to Come, I think that was the second book actually. So this is the first book in the series, Shadow of What Was Lost. It's kind of likened on the front, it's likened to Wheel of Time. So if you like Wheel of Time, you'll probably like this. I have not read Wheel of Time myself. But it says, it's been 20 years since the godlike augurs were overthrown and killed. Those who once served them, the gifted, were spared only after accepting the rebellion's 4 tenets, which vastly limited their powers. Davian suffers the consequences of the war lost before he was even born. When he discovers that he wields the forbidden power of the augurs, he sets in motion a chain of events that will change everything. So it says, and in the far north, an ancient enemy begins to stir. So I actually love these books. I read this first one like a year ago, or a little bit more than a year ago actually, and the second one with the same group that I'm buddy reading the third one with. And I absolutely loved these books. They're quite big. They're really quite thick. Each of them is like, 700 pages or something like that. But they're really fun, in my opinion. And they're action-packed, and I absolutely love it. So I can't wait to get to the third one. We're going to start it on Sunday, I believe, is what we decided. And yeah, can't wait for that one to start. The only other book that I'll be reading, and I actually just started it, is called Fallen by Lori Falter. This is a YA trilogy. It's the Guardian trilogy, and I've had this on ebook for quite a while, but I don't think I've ever read it, and I definitely didn't mark it on Goodreads if I have read it. So I'm gonna read this trilogy just to see what it's all about. So all I know is this follows a young girl named Maggie, and it takes place in New Orleans, which is different, and people are out to kill her because there's more to her past than meets the eye. That's all I really know about it. The description of the book is very vague. It's a little bit longer than what I just gave you, but it's just about as vague. And I've only read the first chapter of the book, so I can't really give any thoughts as to what I think of it so far. It was just the first chapter, it was just a few pages, and an attempt on her life has already been taken in that first chapter, and somebody blocks the attempt. A stranger blocks the attempt on her life and kind of saves her. He also seems to know her in some way, so I'm not sure how that plays into it. I'm not sure if this is about angels or what. I'm guessing it does have something to do with angels because of the title, Fallen. I mean, usually, it's just the title on a white cover and there's a feather, so that's why I'm assuming it's angels. But we'll have to see what I think of this first book. If I want to go on to the rest, I have all three on ebook. I've just never picked it up, and we'll have to see what I think. So, I didn't give you every book I read. I read a total of 10 books so far since the new year began, since New Year's Day. But a lot of those were kind of finishing up series. Like I finished up the series in the Three Dark Crowns series. I read the 4th book in the beginning of January, and that was excellent. I loved the way it ended. I also flew through the Seven Realms series. This is the first book, The Demon King. This is also a YA series by Cinda Williams-Chima, and I absolutely loved these books as well. I won't go into it because, like I said, we could be here forever if I go into each and every book that I read throughout the month of January. But it was just a really good reading month. Everything that I read, from, the fantasies to the thriller to the romances, I have had a really good reading month in the sense that I have really enjoyed everything. I've been really busy with work, but I was happy that I was able to kind of still read these on my own. And now that I can breathe a little bit, that February is about to start, that, I can get into more buddy reads and stuff like that. So that is all I have for you. I hope you're all doing well. I would love to hear what you're reading, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Bye.